Assalamu alaikum students, here is Usama Tahir and you're watching Learn English with Usama Tahir. Students, we have been discussing a lot about second language acquisition and all. Today we are extending the same topic and we're going to talk about motivation and input and output. Students, learning a second language, what do we need the most in my opinion is the motivation. If you are not motivated enough to learn a second language, there would be a lot of difficulties and hardships you will face, and you will lose your heart and you will give up learning a second language. Motivations are of different types. We are going to talk about internal motivation, external motivation, and as well as instrumental motivation and integrative motivation. Students, internal motivation means that learning a second language is somehow satisfying you internally. You know what, you are just satisfied with learning a second language and you have no goals outside this world. Like there are no external motivations in your mind or external needs. Like you don't want to impress others or pass your graduation or something like that. It's just you get satisfied by learning a second language. This is the very important motivation you should have for learning a second language, that if it is satisfying you, you are not going to give up easily, or you're not going to give up at all. Next is external motivation, which is the opposite of internal. It means that you want to learn a second language to fulfill your external needs, like in education or in job or anywhere. This is also a good motivation. Like if you want to achieve something with that learning, with the learning of that language, you will not going to give up easily, I think. Next we have instrumental motivation. Instrumental, as the name, as it's clear with the name, instrumental means that you are taking learning a second language as an instrument to achieve later on goals, to achieve further goals. For example, you want to be good at English so that you can pass school graduation test, or you can read out the publications. This is what we call instrumental motivation, that you are taking second language learning as an instrument, so you can use that instrument later on to achieve the further goals in your life. Next we have integrative motivation. Integrative motivation means that you want to integrate with others, you want to communicate, you want to be the part of that member, so you want to learn that language. I mean, if you are in UK and you want to integrate with the community over there and you need to learn English so you can communicate. So this is what we call integrative motivation, that I want to communicate. This motivation helps you to communicate easily, and if you get some percent of success in your communication and all, then your motivation will increase and there are more chances that you will get success in learning that language. So all of these motivations are essential, are necessary for you to learn the language better. So always think about what motivation you have and what are your goals to learn that language. If it is satisfying you, you want to use it as an instrument, you want to use it as external purpose, you want to use it for communication. It depends on your needs, on your situation. The very next and the very important point here is input and output in second language learning. You know what, when we are learning the second language, we are the beginners. And input should be very easy, should be simple in the structure, should be comprehensible to the beginners. Like foreigner talk. What do we mean by foreigner talk? When a native speaker talks to a non-native speaker, that native speaker will try to use the simpler version of the language, vocabulary, everything, so that non-native speaker will easily understand. So it is said that your input, that you give the input to the students, like from the teacher, should be as simpler as the foreigner talk, should be as easy as the foreigner talk, should be as comprehensible as the foreigner talk. And next we have negotiated input. Negotiated input means when a learner does not understand something, he or she will ask for the explanation, for the clarification, and then negotiated input triggers. Then negotiated input come into being. So during this whole procedure, student learns to communicate. Student will also use the output, like he or she will asking for the clarification. So during the whole procedure, input and output are triggered and communicative performance is increased. So on this phenomena, classrooms are turned into are using communicative tasks, language learning tasks, like in which students are divided into pairs and groups and smaller groups, so that they can ask and use discussion to learn and to improve their communicative competence. So here goal is not to improve the language, but goal is to improve their communicative performance, to help them learn the communicative strategies and all. So while you're learning a second language, input should be easier, comprehensible, there should be negotiated input, and there should be classroom tasks, so that you can engage your students in learning language better. And instead of just it also takes away their fear of making errors, because in front of their colleagues they are more comfortable than in front of the teacher and all. So this was all today in this video lecture. If you have any question, you can ask